So, our topic in our Earth lesson 1, longitudes. The longitudes is a Latin word, came from the word longitudo, which means the length. The length. So, if you observe a globe, there you can find the vertical lines, and the longitudes are also called as semicircles because they intersect in the north pole as well as in the south pole, and these are not circles, these are semicircles. Latitudes are called circles, here longitudes are called semicircles. And there are 360 longitudes. The 0 degrees longitude is called as prime meridian, and opposite to the 0 degrees longitude we have the 180 degrees longitude, which is known as anti-meridian, and these longitudes will intersect at the poles in the north pole and the south pole. That is why these longitudes are called as semicircles. And let us know what is the use of the longitudes. The longitudes will help us to know the time, definite time of a particular place, time and date especially we can know with the help of the longitudes. And every country tried to keep their own territory longitude as the 0 degrees longitude, but England decided to keep their territory longitude as 0 degree longitude because it passes through the astronomical observatory at Greenwich, England. Why the England word has obeyed by all the countries means because the England ruled almost most of the part of the earth. So, that is why it has accepted by the all countries. And this 0 degrees longitude is also called as Greenwich. Greenwich longitude, and opposite to the 0 degrees longitude 180 degrees longitude, and this 180 degrees longitude has not drawn in a straight manner, it is in a zigzag manner because it has taken as the international date line. Here onwards we start calculating the time for every place of the world. So, to cover the areas which are in the mid of the Mediterranean Sea and the small islands and small parts of the Europe, it has drawn in a zigzag manner. So, the 180 degrees longitude has taken as international date line, and 0 degrees Greenwich, it is also 0 degrees prime meridian, and it passes through the astronomical observatory at Greenwich, England. So, here also as we show the latitudes like degrees, minutes and seconds, in the same way the longitudes also we will show as in the form of degrees, minutes and seconds. So, if you see the location of the India, 97 degrees 25 minutes and 68 degrees 7 minutes longitudes, eastern longitude. So, here we are showing the location in the form of degrees, and the minutes and seconds also will be used sometimes. So, these longitudes will help us to know the accurate location as well as to know the time and date of the particular place. So, we will go for the next topic, grid system. So, here the grid system, what is the grid system? If you observe the globe, there we can see the latitudes and the longitudes. So, where the latitudes and the longitudes intersect each other, there we can see a box shape which is known as the grid. And this grid is useful for us to locate accurately a particular place and to know the climate of that place, to know the temperature of that place, at the same time to know how to reach a particular place, in which direction we have to travel, everything we can get to know with the help of the grid. So, this is the explanation about the longitudes and the grid, and we will go for the next session. Longitudes helps us to calculate the time. So our topic is longitudes and the question of time. So here 1 degree to move the sunlight, it takes 4 minutes. It means we have 360 longitudes. So each longitude has drawn 1 degree. So to move the sunlight from one longitude to another longitude, that is 1 degree, it takes 4 minutes. Understand here? To move the sunlight from one longitude to another longitude, the difference is 1 degree. So to move the sunlight 1 degree, it takes 4 minutes for the sun. So if you observe the eastern longitude, it means the 0 degrees prime meridian divides the earth into 2 zones, that is the eastern longitudes zone and the western longitudes zone. So eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. If you take the example of the eastern hemisphere, here we will see 10 degrees of eastern longitude, the local time, it means the sundial. Before invention of the watches, we used to have sundials. We know already in ancient India we have sundials. So the sundial will show you the 12 noon and the time shows you 11:56 am. And coming to the 9 degrees eastern longitude, 9 degrees means you are coming towards the east. So add time. Again you have to add the 4 minutes. So it will show the time in the watch 12 o'clock 4 minutes, that is 12:04 p.m. And coming to the 11 eastern longitude, again you have to subtract the time here. It means you are going westward. So here again it shows the 4 minutes less. It means here it is showing 11:56 am in watch. It is here 11 degrees eastern longitude, it shows 11:52 am. So this creates a lot of confusion for us. So to study in detail, to avoid this confusion, the geographers have divided the earth into 24 time zones. 24 time zones. How they have divided? So as I said, we have 360 longitudes. These 360 longitudes are divided into 24 time zones, and each time zone has drawn with the distance of 15 degrees. So it takes 1 hour for the sun to move from the one time zone to another time zone. I will tell you how it comes. So 1 degree is equal to 4 minutes, and 15 degrees into 4 minutes you will get the 60 minutes. It means 1 hour. So to move from one time zone to another time zone, it takes 1 hour. So in this way the time zones are drawn. So we will see the time zones on the map. We will take the flat surface to avoid the confusion. So the middle line we call as 0 degrees prime meridian or Greenwich. This is the 0 degrees time zone. From the 0 degrees time zone to the time zones are drawn 15 degrees. Again after 15 degrees one more time zone near the 30 degrees and one more time zone here 45 degrees. Like that here we have 12 time zones. And next from the east to west side. So here west part, this is east part. Here also 15 degrees, 30 degrees and the 45 degrees. So from here when you move towards the east side, you have to add the time. It means +1, +2, +3, when you move towards the east side from the 0 degrees, you have to add 1 hour. Okay, add time. And when you move towards the west side from the 0 degrees, you have to subtract the time. Subtract 60 degrees. So minus, sorry. So you have to add 1 hour when you are calculating the time towards the west side at 15 degrees. You have to subtract 2 hours when you are calculating the time at 30 degrees. You have to subtract 3 hours when you are calculating the time at 45 degrees to the Greenwich time. And when you are going to calculate the time from the Greenwich towards the eastern longitude, at the time again you have to add the time. Suppose for example, when the time is 12 o'clock or you take 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. in the morning. So we are moving towards the east side to the 15 degrees. So you have to add 1 hour. It means here 11 a.m. It means at the same time here 0 degrees Greenwich, the time is 10 a.m. When you are moving towards the 15 degrees, the time is 11 a.m. and when you are moving towards the east side of the 30 degrees, you have to add 2 hours, so the time will become like a 12 o'clock. It means there is a time difference between every country on the earth at the same time. If we call from here to years during the daytime, for us it is just 10 o'clock a.m. in the morning, and for them it is night 9:30 p.m. the previous day. It means suppose for example, so now 10 a.m. Sunday, we are calling to our friend. I am calling to my friend. She is in US. For them it is Saturday night 9:30, because we have the time difference of 11.5 hours. If you see every country, they will be having in different places different sundials. Suppose if we take India, the sun rises first in Arunachal Pradesh and the last in Gujarat. So according to the longitudes, the longitudinal difference is 97 degrees 25 minutes in the east side, east, and the west part of India, it has a longitudinal difference like every country has taken its own time zone. It means here in India we have same time all over the country. We follow same time in Arunachal Pradesh, in Gujarat, Jammu and Kashmir or Tamil Nadu, Kerala, whatever the state you take, the time will remain same, even though the sun rises first or the last, because every country has taken their own standard time, which is known as the standard time of the country. And here also we have the standard time for India, Indian standard time at 82.5 degrees eastern longitude. As we know, the total India is existed in the eastern hemisphere. So that's why we calculate the longitudes also. Eastern longitude here 68 degrees 7 minutes eastern longitude, 97 degrees 25 minutes eastern longitude. So here the Indian standard time has calculated at 82.5 degrees eastern longitude. How it has taken? The average of the two longitudes, like 67 degrees 68 degrees 7 minutes plus 97 degrees 25 minutes, add and divide it with 2, you will get the 82.5. So at this particular point, India has taken its standard meridian, and we have the 5.5 hours difference from the Greenwich, very very important. And Pakistan has just 5 hours difference from the Greenwich for their standard time. And so likewise different nations have their own different timings. 68 degrees 7 minutes plus 97 degrees 25 minutes divided by 2. If you do, you will get the 82 and of degrees. It has taken as the Indian standard time. So India has the time difference from the Greenwich 5.5 hours. Like this, every country has its own standard meridian. Like if you take Pakistan, it has 5 hours difference from the Greenwich. So whenever you need to calculate the time from Greenwich or any particular longitude, you have to add the time if you go eastward, you have to subtract the time if you go westward. So here we have 2 problems about the time calculation. When the time is 1 p.m. Monday at Greenwich, because we need time in 4 hours. So 1 p.m. the time is at Greenwich, so we need to add 4 hours to know the time at 60 degrees eastern longitude. So you will get the 5 p.m. Monday on the 60 degrees eastern longitude. And one more problem we will see, when it is time 1 a.m. Tuesday in the 60 degrees eastern longitude, what is the time at 30 degrees western longitude? See, observe here, eastern longitude, eastern degrees 60 plus 30 you will get 90, multiply it with 4 you will get 360 minutes, divided it with 60 minutes you will get the 6 hours. So this one we have to subtract with the 1 a.m. So convert it with 24 time zones, because here we have the time in 12 time zones. Convert it into 24 time zones, you will get 13. It means 13 a.m. you will get, minus it with the 6 hours, and the time is 7 p.m. Monday. You just observe here, the time is 1 a.m. Tuesday in 16 degrees eastern longitude, and coming to the 30 degrees western longitude, the time is 7 p.m. Monday. So here day is different as well as the time is difference. Yeah, this is the problems, and every country will be having not only the one standard time. Few countries in the world, they have more than one time zones also. Like if you take the USA, has 9 time zones officially, and Russia has 11 time zones, and coming to France, it has 12 time zones. So France is the country which has the more time zones. Okay, so this is the end of the topic.